Yeah, I just got that notification. Very cool. So guys, he's also added it to his stream live, which hopefully we'll get some more viewing engagement. I need better tools. I don't want to strip this using these shitty tools. There's some better tools. Oh my God, that's a mess. I haven't looked in that bag since coming back from the track. And it is a mess. Okay. Now it's flapping lips. Now it's both. That's awesome. This is the best shell. To me, it gets no better than the one thing after another, trying to figure it out. I do think in the long run this will be way better by using StreamYard over what we were using. That's a real beaut, Clark. He's a real beaut. Well, it's probably painted silver because the inside it's actually just aluminum, and so when silver scrapes off, it won't really show that badly with the aluminum behind it. So you would put a pin in it here, I believe. Yeah, now it's locked. So I put in a pin in that I can have locked, which I don't know if I'll do or not. You just have to remove this little cover right here, and yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and worry about greasing this because there's a little grease in it, but I have a feeling we're probably going to pull it apart and paint it. I may do that tomorrow at work. Let's get this guy back together. Here in the back channel chat, it posts. Send me location. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the chat. Wish you didn't have to leave so soon. We will hope that that beach bash is still happening. It's really quite frustrating because I have 2 nights rented there to camp. Oh shit, Khabib! It is so good to hear from you, guys. This is one of the originals. Hadn't heard from you in a long time, man. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, if you got to go, take off. But hopefully you can try to join in on some more in the future. I'll start doing some more. Yeah, man, that's cool to hear from you. This thing, Khabib 29-0. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been a long time. Gonna be try to be back tomorrow after work and get started on doing some more on that. I'm not very happy with that screw. That might have not been the right screw for that. It's not the right screw for that. It's a longer screw there. Yeah, that's great, dude. I can't believe to hear from you. That is awesome. Send me location. I hope yeah, hope to see you again soon. That is awesome. So good to hear from him. He is our friend from Australia, actually, guys. He is from way over there in the other side of the world. And absolutely a regular on the show. And it's been a while. And very glad to have him back. Yes, sir. This thing, I guess it doesn't feel too chintzy. It feels all right. It'll go together just fine, probably. Two of these screws are shorter than I'd like them to be. These short screws, they should be the same length here. Those are not going to cut it. Maybe here. Yes, Flappin', I agree. The way this thing is laid out is much, I feel like it's much easier to use. Like a studio sort of layout. What the hell? I didn't think it would be that hard taking 6 or 8 screws out. Yeah, I seen that where all the comments can post live. I've been doing that earlier today. It's pretty cool. You can highlight somebody's posts. Yeah, I was doing that earlier. Pirate, you missed some good stuff. There was you know, just bullshit chat. Just, same stuff, just talking. That's that one. I've got I did take this front and the rear axle apart. All of them on the right side of the vid. Oh, I'm seeing that now. How should it be set up? Is that how it should be set up? What do you guys think? I see. Not just one comment. All on the right side. It's optional. All right. All right. Well, let me see. Size. Font. I like it. Let's leave it there and see how it goes. I don't mind that big. Hmm. Well, you guys probably have a better screen to view this from than me. So if you have an opinion, let me know. Um, what looks better, if we should have it up or not. I kind of like it. That's how a lot of, I feel like that's how some of them on the live streams. Yeah, like if you're watching it on a TV instead of damn, that's not right. I swear. If I'm gonna have to put the new threads into this already, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed. You're not getting it on your channel, though. I don't know what you mean. That you're not getting it on the channel. Like if you're looking, if on YouTube you're not getting it. Yeah, 4 larger, 2 shorter. These should be the largers, definitely. Douglas is coming up with all the good ideas tonight. Hot pink. Paint the differential housings. Dude, may not be a bad idea. Especially with that metallic blue body, it probably looked pretty sharp. All right, so I'm going to have to get another longer screw because one is stripped out already. It's not the screw that's stripped out, it's the threads in the chassis. Now I can start a what? Now a star comment and it'll save for later use. Oh, that makes sense too. That's good. I think I put that ad up accidentally as I was just trying to stream through it. I'm pretty sure that was me. So guys, been fun. I appreciate just hanging. I wish we could have done better with getting the guests in tonight. It was a last minute thing, and I'll figure it out. I haven't been paying too much attention. Yeah, for the invites, I think I sent you. I think I sent it to you through. I had copied the link and then sent it through Facebook Messenger. Easy way as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. Pirate says he's having trouble following the chat, and so am I, kinda. I probably haven't had enough to drink. So yeah, guys, I rode moto for the first time in many, many years. A couple days ago. It was awesome. It's not very fast. No, let's put it this way. I wasn't fast. Not even very fast. I wasn't even kind of fast. I didn't check that out. I just logged into this. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I hit that StreamYard thing, and it showed it by itself. Let's see. So this is my ride. This is my ride over at
There we go.
Where was it? Paris Raceway. Not sure if there's any video or if there's any audio on that. If there is audio and it's too loud or something, let me know. But yeah, that was I get pretty tired very quickly, so I pull off the track. And let's see. Audio. Yeah, it looks like it's still working. Looks like it's working. Okay, so there's a little audio on the thing. So yes, this was fun. Here's a little double right there. Another little double right there. It's more like a tabletop with a hump. I think I'm going to try to pass this guy on the inside right here because, you know, that's just what I try to do. And aired that out pretty well. And now I'm probably really friggin' tired again. So I would probably be slowing down in a second. I could do like 3 laps tops before I'd have to, no, maybe like 6 laps tops, but I'd do like a lap and then I'd pull off for a half a lap and try to get my breath back. This was on the Honda. Oh, that's a fun little section. A right turn. Comes over a little tabletop with a hump in it, and then double into the whoops. I thought about tripling in. Those whoops, they just wear me out. those are so tiring. They're just 6 hours, but they're very tiring. So now you can see I've got to slow my ass down and take a break. But this is a really short jump right here. It's fun though. You can kind of shoot you up in the air, but not very far forward. It's very short. That one I just went over, you can't really jump it. It's too close to the corner. Little double, which I'm rolling. I don't have the energy. I guess I hit that time.
I need quicker rebound.
Yeah, this was fun. This is what I did.
Video note for myself.
Saturday, I think it was. Yeah, it was Saturday. I thought about going back Sunday, but a little too tired. I was actually really beat. I shouldn't have drank the night before, and it was 90. I didn't even check the temp because I thought it's going to be the 80s.
More of a lip on it.
There's a small double. You need quicker rebound. You are so sure. You are, dude. I think it's either on this video or I make an audio note to myself saying I need to get quicker rebound because this bike will not. I can't get much. I'm having to preload the piss out of it to try to get it to jump. Okay, so I actually just said it. Okay. Yeah. There's not much of a lip on a lot of these jumps here. And if I was on my Suzuki, I feel like I would have been getting more pop. But the Honda's set up differently. Of course, that's just a matter of a couple clicks adjustment, but you're absolutely right. I felt like that was what was wearing me out, was when I would just go into a jump and try to compress and then lift it to kind of get it to spring up. But it was still a great time. I mean, my first time riding on a track in 12 or 13 years. I was very happy. Continue to just get a little more comfortable. Finish line. That's a nice jump right there. I was clearing that pretty well by the end. And this is my favorite little stretch of 3 jumps in a row. That one there was the biggest one. Yeah, it was great fun. Good times. Good times. And then here we are going back to the truck. And there's my truck, and there's my Suzuki, and I never even got the Suzuki out. I wish I had. And there's my gal helping me because I sure can't do it. What a mess. Good times. We can work with us both on screen. You just have to unmute. Yeah, Douglas, I just did it at that's why I did it, because I'm 50, dude. I just turned 50. So I was like I just was I hadn't ridden dirt bikes in many years. I just got some recently that I've just been trail riding around the house and stuff and out in the desert. Not around the house here, but my parents. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to going back and doing more moto. It's not that, I feel like it's actually easier in a way, it's easier on the body. Or my breath, it's not, but it's good. It was a lot of fun. Anyone ever wants to go ride, just let me know. I'm up for it. Oh, what else we got going on? I have that's about it. I think that's about it. Flapping. I say you should get one. You should get one. Riding around in the desert. So I actually did a Onyx off-road map thing, and I mapped how my mileage. And I went out 4 times, and I did about. I went out for 4 sessions, and I did almost 18 miles, 17.8 miles or something like that. Which I was like, shit, that's pretty good. I didn't think I'd be able to pull that off, because if I do 20 miles in the desert, I'm still pretty tired. And moto is, it's going to tire me more. But I was able to get almost 18 miles. If I can start going and doing, 25 to 35 miles. Yeah. I smoked a long time. I haven't in a long time though. Luckily I quit a long time ago. But I did smoke for a number of years. It sucks. That's the worst thing. Now, for motocross, you definitely need the aerobic, but you could get a bike and just do some trails, man. I find myself not being out of breath. I don't have to pull off so much when I'm riding the trails in the desert and stuff like that. Just the constant preloading for jumps and landing off jumps and just doing jumps wears me out a lot more. For one, I've not been doing it, so I'm not as smooth as I could be. I'm kind of tight on the bike, but yeah, it's been fun. Down to a pack every 2-ish days. Oh, that's good. Hell yeah, keep cutting down best you can. Even cutting down something, that's something. Let me see if I can find Promoto. Somewhere. No, I don't know where it's. Oh, it's behind the seat. Yeah, that's actually kind of how that helped me to quit. But it was funny when I quit. It was just like I said, I'm just like, I don't want to anymore. There were some times before that I tried and it didn't work, but that time it did. Real easy. So I got it sealed up. I didn't want to lose it. Get a package sealer at work. What I am going to do, brand new set of the red plastics. Gonna pull the graphics off these, put them onto these other red graphics, just red plastics, just for salvaging them. And then I'm gonna put the Honda stickers on these guys. Not sure where the Honda stickers might be though. Oh, here they are. So that bike that I was just riding on the video actually has these same Woody Woodpecker graphics on it. Let's see how you start peeling. Let's see. Just start with I try to do it without heating them. So I feel like I heated plastic one time and it deforms and like colors quite quickly. So the reason I bought them with the stickers on, I was able to buy them, I believe it was at Jenny's. Yes, it was at Jenny's RC. And they're cheaper this way than if I was to just buy the plastics alone, I'm pretty sure. So what I'm going to do is just pull the stickers, put them on this used set of plastics, but they're going to look sharp, and I'm going to start running. I think I'll use these for a spare set, or I'll start running with these. Oh, Douglas. So I went out there, and Dune's not built still, and we've got a chance of rain. So I don't know yet. I was going to say probably noon, maybe 10 o'clock. We could start it at 10 o'clock probably. Yeah, I was thinking maybe 10. But it's going to depend on the rain. I'm not going to know more until tomorrow. And then with the dune not being built, there is a couple small hills out there. So we could do a few jumps, but it's not going to be nowhere near what we were talking about before. Nothing like that. So it's very disappointing. If it gets delayed, we'll just do it later on in the year. Onto the beater plastic. Hell yeah. It's okay. It's okay. This is old plastic. Old plastics. I am going to go ahead. If you are, if you're there flapping lips and you are able to share with us your screen and want to talk about one of your upcoming or your project, let me know. And I will mute myself and shut myself down and let you take over for a while. All right, guys, I am going to go to mute myself so I can hear Flappin' talk. And yeah, guys, I'll be back in a little while.
Right on. Excuse me. How's everybody doing? So JB was talking about my Origin build, which I've got here, kind of half in disarray. I've been doing some interior work. If you don't know, it's the Vanquish Products H10 Origin. They made the H10 Optic and released that last year. That's a plastic, fantastic, if you will, setup. The Origin is all CNC'd. Pretty much all of it. Obviously, this is plastic, the centerpiece up here. The rest of it, the panels, the door panels, which I don't have on, got them in the box. Front panels are all CNC'd. The
So
grills
Flappin',
all...
I'm not able to hear what you're saying. Can you hear
Let
me?
see. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, give me a second. It shows I'm coming up. Okay, so let me double check on mine and see if I'm coming through. Well, I'll double check on yours and see if I'm coming through. Okay, yeah, I'm coming through. I think he's got to turn up his mic or speakers. I think that's
Hello,
what
hello?
he needs to do. So I think you just need to turn up your
Hello?
mic. So
I don't hear anything.
and he's not
boy,
playing
I think
through
we're gonna
because
have
I
to
have my
close her
headphones
down.
on. No, you're fine. It's okay.
I have got no... Man, my speakers are turned up. And I can't hear...
Because I hear me coming through
I can't hear
your
myself
live
even.
stream.
So I'm wondering, like, can you hear me talking right now, Flappin'? Mike, is my audio on?
Not sure why you're not hearing me. That's strange. But yeah, I hear me through your live. Everybody else hearing me okay? Doug or Mike, Offna guy, you guys hear me good? Because it looks like it's coming through on my side. I hear you. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I thought. Doug hears us both.
He hears me coming through. I wonder why the hell I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, that
All
is
right, well,
strange.
I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and put him back on. So Flappin', I hope you got some stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll
we
try to
can talk
figure it
over
out
this
why
a
I'm
little
not
bit.
hearing it. But it'll get you a chance to say hi, and hopefully the people in chat will hear you. You heard both of them, huh, Douglas? Okay.
Yeah,
Son
I'm
of a
coming through
gun.
live, so
Oh.
I'm not sure
Let
why,
me try
but
to...
yeah.
I don't know how I can't hear nothing.
Ooh,
Go, I mean, you should... You're not even muted here, dude. I'm going to remove you. And then... Let's see. Remove from stage. I'm going to add you back to stage.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I'm going to mute myself, and you go ahead and talk. And Douglas, let me know if you can hear him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming through there. I can hear me now, and I'm sure Doug can hear me and everybody else. I hear in a real faint background on my TV, I've got my live playing, and I can hear me coming through that. So You should be able to hear me. I'm not sure why you can't. So as I was getting to, yeah, everything in this is a CNC piece. So this here, let me set it on our side here. This whole cage piece, this whole side from the front to the back, top to bottom, is all one piece, milled out of one chunk of aluminum. Same thing with the center piece. This piece is one piece. These are all one piece. This was one piece. The back piece, they're numbered. This is number 190. The grills was one solid piece of, you know, US 6061, and then it was all machined out. So it's not an inexpensive kit, but it's a really nice kit. The axles, I'll show you on the rear axle, they're all scale. And they even CNC'd, kind of hard to see, but if you look closely, you can see there's actually CNC'd weld lines on there. Let me get my other camera out, or other light out. You can kind of see the CNC'd weld marks into the rear axle, so it looks like it's welded, which is a pretty cool. Kind of hard to see there with the chat. Move it over. Well, that ain't gonna work either, but that'll work. I'll just move it over here a little bit. You're gonna see my camera move here. Of course, it didn't. So, but yeah, it's everything's been CNC'd out of one piece of aluminum except for the plastics. It does have a plastic bottom skid piece on it. The center front is plastic, and a few of the rear pieces are plastic. The housing on the transmission is plastic. The rest of it's all CNC'd. You got to choose the colors of the axles, which were just black or white, or clear, not white, clear. So you got axle choice colors. You got on the choice of the cage was multiple colors. The choice of the wheels were multiple color options, and the choice of the cages or the panels were multiple color options: blue, red, gold, the orange, a bronze, no purple, no green. There's another color in there. Can't quite remember. So yeah, and it was all a package. Comes as a kit. You have to build it, obviously. I've got videos of the build, getting it all the way to running condition on my channel. So if you want to go over there and check that out, they're long, slow, boring vids. I didn't do any high-speed stuff. I just kind of videoed it live and put it together. And there's like 4 or 5, 6, 1 to 2 hour vids. Did you get your sound working, JB? They must have. I don't see you messing with it now, so we'll see. But so yeah, it's all CNC'd, and then from there you build it up. And I've added Reese stuff, a Reese 888, and right now I have an 800 IS internal winch in here, but I'm taking that out and putting in a Mini 179. Because I have a motor top that hides the servos area and gives you what looks like pretty much an LS top end. I got to paint it up, but with this will mount here, but that winch servo is way too tall and in the way. So I'm going to get a small low profile or a small mini servo and then lay it down and get it up out of the way so I can mount, you know, do this motor, mount it up. There is a piece here that I could put into this, but this is going to hold my mini battery. I'm using a small 3S cell pack. This is going to be for the lighting system. It's got the Q series headlights on it, so they're pretty bright. And then I've got a tail light bar in the back, 2-point tail light bar in the back, as well as rock lights. I've got a pair of rock lights on the back, but there's no real place to put them on the front unless this is probably what I might do, is I modded some black diamond plate. You can see that kind of well, and cut 2 panels out, place them on the inside of the cage. So I might try to mount them on this diamond plate somewhere and put them so the rock lights gives me a little bit better light. There's really no other place to mount them where they won't be in the way. And then I also have a light bar, which isn't going on top. I'm going to actually mount it across the front low profile right here. So night driving, you get decent lights. So what I chose is obviously clear cage. I could have went with any of the options of colors. It comes with shocks that are all metal, but it has red caps and red adjuster rings. I chose to go with orange to match the theme. And then here in the last 3 weeks or so, here and there, I've been working on the interior. Let me see what's a better option here. Because, well, I could probably go like this.
Testing.
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. I can hear you by listening through the phone over there. So I've been able to hear you. But I got it as loud as I can. I got to figure out a better way to make it sound louder, but it's working.
Yeah, the big issue is it just my voice, because you don't have headphones on, feeds back through your microphone. So whenever I say something, your microphone's on and working, it just picks my voice up and rebroadcasts it, and that's why everybody's getting an echo. It creates a loop, and that's where you get feedback going on. So,
but anyway, I was just chiming in to say I'm at least able to hear you, and I appreciate you taking over. Keep it up.
Appreciate
I'm liking hearing about your truck, your build, so I'm just going to go back to mute, but I am here listening.
Cool. Glad you're able to at least get some sound.
Sure.
So let me see if I can swap over camera here and edit mic settings. Nope, wrong one. I need to go here. There it is. So I'll come over to, is it? I gotta turn it on first so it's accessible. Let me back out and come back into it. Now I should have it. Yep, there she is. So here, now it's going to be kind of bouncy because I'm holding it. Now you can kind of see what I'm doing in the interior. Let me spin it around. So give me a sec here. I just had the cage top off and it's all kind of unhooked. So I've been, working on getting this dash area worked out in the inside. So we got our driver here. You all may recognize this champ from the World Wrestling Federation, known as Roddy Piper. But this is out of the driver posable figure out of the NECA. One of those toy lines from the movie They Live. So he's my driver. What was that, JB?
Hello. You there?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Oh, man. I loved the Roddy Piper. He was one of my favorite wrestlers back in...
Yeah, he was mine too, man. He was a spitball. Yep. Plus, he always wore the Scottish regalia. I'm Irish pretty much, so I kind of dug into it. I liked it. It's funny. But yeah, Rowdy, I needed a driver because I wanted to really kind of scale this out, and I thought, I was looking around and I thought, man, that would be cool. So yeah, I found one that actually fit. It was just the right size. Almost too big. You can see his head's damn near on the top. So, and there ain't much room there on the chair. I took off quite a bit of the chair and got it pushed down as low as I can. Had to hack it up to get it around the flat on the bar here. So it took a little bit of modding. Took some diamond plate, made a floor pan. He's got even a foot. I mean, it's hard to see here. Let me see if I can shine it up. There's even a foot pan down there, but it's hard to see with his boots in the way, and then the steering wheel servo. It's got a mobile steering wheel on it. That's what that servo is right there, to turn the steering wheel. And it kind of moves up and down a little bit, not much, but a little bit. I can get some movement out of it. Of course, he's posable and figurable, and I'll be able to get his arm on there. But yeah, I built the floor pan for it, mounted the seat through the floor pan, flip it back around on this side. Now on this side, what's going to be in there is this box. Straighten it out a little bit. So from the inside, you'll see this on just on the other side of the shifter box right here. That'll cover all this up, mechanical safety box. But that will be all the where all the wiring fits. The battery will pack up in here. And I've had it all together and everything tucked up. All the wiring and receiver actually goes up in there. I tucked that all up in there. This battery stays here. So everything will collapse down and be quiet. The unit itself has what's called their VFD dig. It's just a single speed dig with some, VFD transmission, which is single speed transmission with some overdrive in the front. So you get a little bit more rotation up front than you do in back. It's like 7% or something like that, not much. And then I added a dig system to it. So I got a servo back here that operates my dig. Well, yesterday, if you can see that little wire wrapped around that screw right there, I wired that up to the shifter so it will actually move when I move the dig servo. Let's see if I can finger move it here. It's that way. So when I move it back, I'm going to have to do a little adjustment on it. Come on now. There it is. So it moves the shifter. Not the greatest, but I'm going to do a little adjustment on my wire, get it bent up a little bit better, and it will move a little bit better. So that'll operate the dig system. So when I move it, it moves the whole thing. Let me see if I can get a better picture of it there. See? Yeah, it kind of moves it back and forth. And that one's going to be stationary. And then, of course, like I say, this box will be sitting in there like this with all that stuff hidden on this side. And then across the dash will be actually a dash that I'm working on right now. There we go. Where I'm putting speedometer in, going to build a small box, put a LED, thin, 3 watt LED or something, or a 3 millimeter LED back there, soft white, just kind of glow back there and light things up. Start button. As you can see, I've got other rings kind of set here. I'm going to cut most of these pieces out as opposed to put the whole sticker on. Let me kind of see here. So the speedometer,
can you hear me over there?
Will go in there. Yep, still got you. Hear you fine.
I'll be damned. It says mic is muted. So now it's actually working.
Weird.
I just remembered I have an in-ear. I had headphones in my bag.
Oh,
so I just plugged them in, and I'm listening to you through that, and I'm talking through that as well.
Yeah. Now we'll both be able to talk without worrying about loops and feedback. Cool. Rock
Hopefully, the audio is coming through clear for everybody else out there. But yeah. I'm just gonna. Very cool, dude. Even though it says mic is muted on me, but that's okay.
I don't show is muted on my side in the back screen in the in the studio.
Yeah.
I see us both as unmuted and open and running. So
on the front stream, we're probably good.
Yeah.
If we got anybody out there, it says mic's muted again. Oh, Douglas says he heard both. That was back in 8:53.
Yeah, I'm sure Douglas, you can hear both of us because I can hear both of us. Yeah, I'm hearing you through my live.
So. Beautiful. Awesome.
You good?
We're back, dude. We got it figured out.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what I see, because you get that feedback loop now, even with the cut the background noise options, they don't work. There's
Mhm.
some aftermarket, third party items we can maybe look at that may
Nah, this is good.
do
This is
some
all I
stuff.
need.
But yeah, if you get an ear monitor, and I think I'd rather I might do an ear monitor too myself. I don't
Yeah,
mind
I don't know why I
headphones,
didn't
but
think of that before. I love it.
being a
Great idea.
musician and yeah, being a musician and doing studio work, and basically you live under the headphones, they get tired on
Oh
the ears.
yeah.
So anyways, yeah, so this is some of the dash work I got going on. There's a radio set here, a couple radio like a CB, and then just a regular radio that I'm gonna probably mount there. I was meant to mount this start button is what this is gonna be. I meant to mount it over here, but I messed up and moved it here. So that's going to be a little close because as you can kind of see, the box has been, kind of coming in right here on this spot where you can kind of see it bend in. That's where the box kind of pinches. So what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of shoe goo on this piece and on this piece, and they'll mount up on this side, and then back over here, there's a little ledge that the door slides into. And it'll shoe glue on the back of that ledge, and that'll hold this all into place. Of course, hiding all the wiring and everything else. I got to do a little fix up. You see this kind of wired up fake battery. It'll actually show a display. I'm going to use this strictly for my little lights battery. And I'm going to do that because my radio itself will give me the radio or the battery level of the main battery running the whole system. So it's going to be pretty intricate. Like I say, it's got the moving steering wheel. So I've got a Radio Link RC8X RC8X, which is a new radio system. Come about 9 months to a year ago from Radio Link. They're about $250. Nice radio, very complex as far as abilities, but easy to program, not like the MT12 from Radio Master, which is a little bit different. You got to go in and really program it. This one has FPV ability on it, and I did get the camera system with it. But it's an 8-channel radio, and I'm using every channel.
Cool.
So I got the 3 servos, which is going to be the 888 for steering. I'm going to use the mini Smart 179, replacing the 800 IS here. And then the small Holmes Hobby servo back here operating the Dig. So there's 3 channels. Then the ESC channel, that's 4. And for the motor and ESC, I'm using the Holmes Hobby 2-in-1. So it's a combo ESC built on the back of the motor, much like the Fusion. Anybody knows the crawler scene.
Yeah.
Probably aware of the Hobby Wing Fusion, which is a 2-in-1. Well, Holmes has its own version. And you can kind of see it here up in there a little bit. It's about the same thing looking at any other, Holmes motor, but in the back of it is the ESC. And this is capable of 4S. So I've got a 4S and some 3S packs. Lights are all 3S. But it has, let me see, an optional drag brake on it. So it takes up a channel besides the other channel. So I've got a steering channel, and then the throttle ESC channel, and then the adjustable drag brake. That's what the optional is on it. Number 4 is going to be the Dig servo to operate Dig. And if anybody doesn't know what Dig is, what Dig does is it gives you this 4-wheel drive vehicle, right? So Dig will have you running 4-wheel drive, right? But you can shift with this particular Dig system into 2 other locations. You can shift center, which actually will freewheel the back end. So with center, the back end is freewheeling. It disconnects the rear axle from the entire transmission setup, so it just freewheels. And the front is still a drive. So that's what your Dig is. It allows that option. or the actual dig option. That's a bonus option. The actual dig option is when you shift all the way back, it actually locks the back wheels, both sides. So you basically have it disconnected from the drivetrain and your back wheels are locked. And the reason you would do that is if you're coming up a hill, but you don't want to be here, you need to be over here, you would dig your rear end, lock it up, and as you crank your wheels and pull, your back wheels won't move. They're locked, so it'll kind of let you drag the front end over to get in position to go up the rest of the rock that you want to go up. So it's a little, a cool option.
That's a great explanation also.
And
I didn't understand it as well before the explanation, actually.
Right.
That's a good job.
So yeah, like if you're sitting on an incline where you're, at 38 degrees on a ledge and you're trying to get your front end to hook, but you got to move a little bit because you got an obstacle, maybe a rock or another part of the ledge you want to kind of move over the front end, you could throw it in the dig, lock that back end so it doesn't want to roll down. If you went neutral, it would roll down because your back would be freewheel. But you will go in the lock dig, that will lock your car in this position. And then you can kind of dig, move your front wheels and turn the front end and kind of hold the back end. On another thing, if you're going down a steep ledge, you dig your rear end, and then your rear end acts like your brakes are locked all the time as you're going down, so it doesn't just run off the edge. You actually have controlled descent as you're going down the hill. There's other options where the freewheel is good, where you can use it, or maybe sometimes you want to kind of get through something, but you don't want your ass end to drive up a ledge that it's pinched into. You want it to stay low, so you go to freewheel, so your front end can kind of pull the rig through and your rear end will just kind of, follow along without driving. And then you can turn around and put it in. Yeah, one of those things. I got a decent radio voice. It was a lot better when I had teeth because then I could enunciate better.
I was saying, it's probably from all them years of smoking.
Well, part of those years of smoking, plus being in a band. So I'm in most of the bands I was in, even though we always had a singer for the most part, somebody else that wasn't me, I was still kind of like, if you will, the intermediary DJ. So while the singer was grabbing a shot, the drummer was taking a quick piss, whatever the situation was, I was the guy flapping my lips on the mic, keeping the crowd kind of engaged and not, losing interest, being bored, because, when you're in between songs doing things, somebody's got to retune. You got a few minutes and there's nothing sucks worse watching a band just stand up there and nothing. You got a live PA and you hear nothing. You need somebody up there with balls enough to get up there and run their mouth. And I'm that kind of person.
Very fun. Very cool.
So yeah, what I'm up to now then is, like I say, I got a servo. I got the servo already. It was the one I bought to put in the brake position on my Mako Promoto, but I've never done that yet. I'm still running the stock brake. It still works fine.
Yeah. So
I'm turned around, kind of blurry out there. You really can't see it. So I had to get a spool for it. So I'm going to get that mounted in here probably tomorrow, get it laid down so I can turn around and paint this engine shell up. And this will mount up in here and block it off. Of course, you won't see it until I take the top off the hood, which has 4 screws holding it down. So it's not like it'll be off often. Unless I figure out some way to work out a hinge system that doesn't really throw it out, because the pieces the hood interlocks a little bit with the fenders, which interlock with the doors a little bit. So it all kind of pieces together. So when you get it all done, if you look up Vanquish H10 Origin, ORIGIN, you'll see in the body panels are all, and it's all solid like a real car. You don't see any bolts except for like this one here, and then the 4 on top here. All the bolts for mounting the doors and everything else are all hidden, so you don't have anything really on the face surface. It's bolts except for these 2 in the back panel and the 4 up here on the hood. There's the 4 on the roof, but that's carbon fiber. So yeah, it's been a pretty intricate build. I've got a lot into it. As far as time, I've probably got 6-7 hours into the build. I didn't, rush through it. I took my time, tried to get the build going, but I'll kind of sneak that in there half-ass. So, when this box is in there, you can kind of imagine a little bit how it'll be. This thing gets a little blurry from time to time too. I don't like this camera anymore. It tends to mess up. But from there, I've added like the metal links here on the links, the metal ends. I've added those. I went with orange. This used to be comes with a red metal cap. That's in my optic right now. So yeah, it's a nice unit. It's,
Cool.
Pretty good. And it's not going to be a shelf. Like I say, these things aren't cheap. Anybody looking at one gonna cough a little bit. It's $3,400 base price, and then $100 per color. If you want colored cage and or colored panels, it's $100 per item to get a color on them. So I have the base items plus the orange color on the panels. So it was $35.99 is the price. But like I say, you're starting with one piece of aluminum for each piece. It's not welded together. It's, other than the pieces themselves are bolted together, because it'd probably be, $1,200 to $1,500, probably be about $2,000 if you took just one piece of aluminum and did the whole cage out of one piece. That'd probably be $2,500 just for that cage, if not more. Because that would be a lot. Trying to CNC this cage under one piece of block would be intricate and hours and hours and hours of time. So
what's the name of this one?
H10 Origin from Vanquish Products.
That's it. Origin.
And they also have the H10 Optic, which is
what I said before, but that's a lower cost one, right?
Yes, the Optic is the standard RTR. It also came out as a kit, which is what I ended up buying. Okay. Almost the same. It was developed in relation and side by side with the Origin, but the Optic actually got through all production stuff first, so it actually came out first. But you see, it's essentially the same rig. I mean, the doors, there's a pin here. You remove the pin, take the pin off, and this is the same on those. Come on now. And then the door just kind of slips off and it latches. There's a little latch system that will latch right there. Goes back in, slide the pin in. Same thing with this. This doesn't have back panels, didn't come with it. Why the Origin did. Of course, this is all plastic, fantastic cage, all the things. There's aftermarket companies making things for them. I mean, aluminum, you can get a whole aftermarket cage from a company called H-Tech with aluminum panels. I think last time I looked, it was like for the cage and the panels, like $535 for those two items from H-Tech. Same thing with H-Tech's in South Korea. They're not Taiwan or China. They're actually in South Korea. So one of our longtime business trading partners, and they do some really nice work. So H-Tech has some stuff. For instance, you can see maybe on the side here on this little, and this is a functional bump stop. It says H-Tech on it because those are H-Tech bump stops. So it's one of their aftermarket parts that they started making. I got a couple other ones. Trying to remember what the hell they are. Maybe that's all I got on this for H-Tech parts was the bump stops. But yeah, it's basically an Origin in plastic, where all the stuff's plastic, except I did do four-wheel steer on the Optic. So it is four-wheel steer instead of two-wheel steer. No dig. Same transmission, so same, I think 7% overdrive. Other than that, dual raw 800 servos. No winch on this one, although I might put a small one on here. Maybe I'll move that 800 over to this one. and use it as a winch, but I'd like to have, use it partly mostly for suck down winch. What suck down winch is, again, if you're out four-wheeling and crawling and you're going up an incline, as you're getting up to the steep point, there's going to come a time when you're going to want to roll back, right? You're going to want to fall back over. With a suck down winch, you actually hook to your axle from your chassis, and it pulls your chassis down to your axle. So when you're going up, you get a little bit more forward weight bias, less likely wanting to fall over backwards when you're at the real steep climbs trying to make it. So, you could use a winch for suck down winch. And that's scale, real life driving as well as RC driving.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I never even thought of that.
So there's a lot of things you can do. Now you can see in this, I got a lot of scale hardware, both of them, scale bolts on not only the bolts holding the wheels on, but all the beadlock rings. These are standard button heads, but if you look at the front up here, scale bolts all up front. Anything that's kind of semi-exposed, there's a fender that goes up here, so you won't see it. But I got scale bolts pretty much everywhere, except in the worst positions, like down in here, where it's a little bit harder if they messed up holding the servos down. Those, you actually hold the servos down in this one. I do have scale bolts in there because you mess those up, it's a little bit harder to get out. So you want to kind of, watch your scale bolt use. But I'm using quality bolts. The scale bolts hardware I'm using is from Vanquish and then Locked Up RC. So it's not as, as some of the Chinese stuff, which strips a lot easier. I also have a little bit of SSD stuff, which is pretty quality scale bolts too. So yeah, there's a lot. Now on the optic, there's almost no scale hardware except for what I've got on the axles here. A little bit holding the clamps down. Now this is obviously a fake hydraulic ram, like a PSE up front here. And it's just a plastic piece, and then your steering that doesn't do anything except for it's your drag link system, but it
just goes through it.
Yeah, it just slides through it, but it gives it that hydraulic ram appearance. I'll probably end up on both of these. I'll probably end up taking some wire and soldering it all off, getting it kind of copper colored, and then putting it in place and making it look like it wired to a pump,
Cool.
Add some scale detail to it, especially on the Origin. I will. This one I'm going to kind of check out. Now, that seems kind of crazy that it's $3,500 for a base unit. In rare RC world work, it's $3,500, but there's a chance that is going to be the bottom resale price, shall we say.
Oh wow.
And I'll say that for a reason. Vanquish around 2018 released something they called the Ripper. Now what the Ripper was just a metal cage. I think there was panels that bolted on, kind of like the optic does here from the outside. I think it had panels for it. So you got a cage, kind of like a buggy here. Looked fairly similar to the optic and Origin here. And panels that were, again, all CNC'd out of one block of aluminum. And that was, of course, by Vanquish. And they put that out in, I think, 2018, released it as a pre-order only. And everything that was ready was pre-order. They had a few of them done up first. You didn't get no options for colors. It was just, I think, raw. Maybe you might have been able to get some color on the panels, possibly. I don't know. I wasn't really familiar with them at the time. But that cage and panel setup sold for $1,800. And then you had to put that on whatever crawler setup you had. It was essentially designed around the Axle XCX102 platform. But there was a few other platforms that were almost identical that would work, like SSD Trail King was essentially SCX102 with all different upgraded aftermarket parts, slightly different stuff, but everything would kind of almost work except for certain things. But the Ripper would fit out. So people who had bought the Ripper had built them up and went through, some people went through huge details, like, way beyond what I've even got going on here. I mean, insane amount of detail. This thing looks almost like you could walk in it, start it up, and drive it away. Real life, it's detail.
Yeah.
And today, here we are 7.5 years later. On a base average, these things sell for $9,000 to $10,000.
Oh my God.
So you took
That's
an
too much
1,800
money.
You took an $1,800 unit. I mean, I've seen them go for 6, 5. They're in rough shape. I've seen a couple go for 13 and 14 that are absolutely immaculate. I mean, these people put hundreds of hours of scale details in interiors, working interiors, gauges that work, shifters that work. It's all done off servos, but they went all over the scale. And like I said, the details are crazy. So they took basically essentially a $2,000 upgrade piece that you throw on a $500 whatever chassis setup, because you need motor and servo, and you buy any kind of kit. They're $300+ then you add your servo and ESC and stuff, you're at a $500 bill. So you basically had a $2,500 unit, and depending on what you did scale with it, it's just went up over time. And that's why I said it's kind of one of those rare instances in RCs where you can buy an RC and actually maybe project to see a surplus of sale money over what you actually spent on it, just because the other thing about it is they're limited edition. I think they
the rarity. Wow.
Yeah, I think they only did like 200, maybe 250 of the Ripper setups, and sold like 200 to 225, and they decided never to sell the last 25 or so. Then they got into this project, and this just released January of this year, or I'm sorry, January of this year. So on January 21st, I think they announced this project out full and offered it up for sale. And I couldn't say no. It was too sweet. So I went ahead and grabbed one.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, when it's all done,
man, I've never seen
it
one.
will be run.
I got to check it out.
Yeah, it won't be a shelf queen. I won't run it and roll it down hills, but it's going to get run. It's going to get its terse. And like I said, that hasn't really hurt those people who have Rippers. So you can kind of look at it as an investment, because you're most likely, unless it's completely trash, going to at least get your money back out of what you put into it, even if it's 5 years later.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's unheard of in the RC market, unless you got something from 1982 Tamiya that was a really rare kit.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't even know such a, I mean, the crawling industry is something I never got too much into, but
oh, it's huge.
The ones that you're talking about, they were going for what you said, 6,000 to 8,000 or more.
The Ripper, yeah. If you go out and look, if you can find them on sale, they're not.
Who made that?
Vanquish products.
So
they don't sell often. Yeah, but yeah, they don't sell often, because there's only, like they say, 200, 210 of them that people have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen them sell in the last 2 years, like I say, between that $5,000-6,000 mark up to $13,000-14,000 for the one. It was beautiful. I mean, that thing had dash. It had a working navigation LED on it. So on the dash, there was a little map that actually navigated and changed, and it was true to where you're at, because it took a GPS setup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, this dude went, he went all out on it. So, and there's no doubt he probably has 100, 200, 300 hours in just detail work, setting up the dash, building everything. So, you're not just buying the product, you're buying the heart and love that people put into them when you buy one of those Rippers. Or I suspect these may end up being the same, because I think they're still selling them. I think I seen unit, they make a small batch. I think they released like initially 200, 225 kits that were raw, ready to go. And then you had to choose your colors. So there was a 90-day lead time, because you could turn around, if you got raw stuff, everything was raw. when they didn't have to ship any colors, they could box it up and get it out. But if they had to anodize, then they had to anodize everything together so it matched. So like I got orange wheels and orange panels, those were anodized in the same batch. Had I got an orange cage, it would have been anodized in the same batch. So they did everything by batch color. So, you know, you had a little lead time. So I don't think I got mine. I ordered it. It was in January. I ordered on the initial release on that night. And it was about 110, 112 days. So a little bit over the 90 days that I got mine. I think orange was maybe one of the lesser ordered colors. So there was, you know,
That's good.
Had a little bit smaller amount of people ordering, so they waited a little bit longer to get bigger batches of orange to anodize at one time.
Yeah. Oh man, that's cool. I'm gonna have to check it out. What I'm watching on now is obviously this little tablet, and I can't see it well, but I'll check out some of your videos on my actual big screen so I can get a better look at it.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing the last day and a half, 2 days, is working on the dash here. I guess I can bring this kind of way back down here. Trying to get the dash done back up so I can get it mounted. I'm going to shoe goo, you know, put a little bit of shoe goo in the slot here, and it will go back in and mount up in there. And then I'll turn around the center cab. I held down with 4 screws. Vanquish does make a top piece that I can mount on that does have a couple shifters, but these two are going to work just fine. They'll work just fine for that. So that's good to go. That's probably how I got that one on there. Okay.
What are you doing tomorrow? You busy busy around noon your time?
Well, unfortunately, at this point, no. I got shit canned about a month ago.
Oh, motherfucker. I'm sorry to hear that. God damn it.
I mean, right out of the blue. I mean, no warning. And I still don't actually know the quote unquote reason why. I called in the office on a Friday morning. And I actually thought I might have been getting called in for a promotion because of the way they had been kind of doing things lately. A guy a month before had gotten a promotion where he was the supervisor of one property. And then they made him the supervisor of 3 properties that were in his vicinity. And I've got 2 properties. There were 2 properties close to my property, and we're the 3 northernmost property. And I kind of thought they were going to offer me the same deal. But I walked in and I could see that the mood wasn't jolly. I'm like, okay, what's up? And they basically, we've had complaints, a couple from tenants, which tells me, okay, complaints came from other workers, which there's only a couple of us. Hostile work environment was mentioned. Not that I was creating it or anything else, but they feel that a hostile work environment, company decided to part ways. So that's where it is.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's the only second time I've lost a job. The first job I lost, I was 27, just had a fresh baby girl, and getting things in the morning. Sometimes it put me a couple minutes late, and I'd show up 8:05, and this guy was a stickler. I mean,
yeah.
If I showed up at 8:01, he wasn't happy. In the third time in a month and a half. Well, actually, it was 6 months. 3 times in 6 months, I showed up by 8:05, and the third time was the last time. Even though it wasn't, it was. He was just a real stickler, and I get it, but it's not like I was just jacking around. I had a brand new baby I was trying to get set up, and my old lady get set up in the morning because she has some PPD that was I had a bitch to deal with. But anyways, again, it is what it is. It sucks, but now I got to fight a little bit to the state to get my unemployment. If not, then I got to go out and find some work. I got a little bit of money to hold me over, hopefully until the beginning of the year. Go from there.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Dang.
Life is
bad, but maybe something better comes up. Who knows? That's how it works.
Well, I was looking and I see the local Bell Tire shop was looking, and they have manager in training. They're looking, they start at 70 to 90, which is a little more than I was making. So I don't want to take a big pay loss, but I'm probably gonna have to take some little bit of pay cut find something, but I'd like to, you know, find something that's at least got me in the 20 plus area to start out. Otherwise, I'm taking quite a bit of a loss again.
Yeah, well,
But
I don't know what the market's like out there right now. I'm only working 2 days a week. It's pretty slow where I'm at, but
yeah, market everywhere is a
got-
little rough.
you know, we'll see. It started to me. It feels like last week started picking up again, so I can only hope. Let's just hope it rolls in that direction.
Well, we got Christmas coming, so that it's always a big boom in the hobby shops. Christmas season, you know, a couple weeks away from, you know, Black Friday, and the sales are starting, and that usually, you know, moves, at least in the hobby industry, moves a little bit of, you know, stuff. 'Cause, you know, half the country's under the winter weather, so they're not out doing a lot. But this is their build time, because when everybody's buying their stuff to start building because they can't get out. So in the northern hobby shops, they're going to be getting busy because everybody getting ready to build their stuff for next year.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's California's always, the weather's pretty good for it, but agreed, it's more of a winter time thing just because it's a huge gifting type of thing around the holidays. And even if you don't get one like for you, you might get one for your kid or your nephew, and then you start using yours again. So you have to buy parts. So it spurs the whole hobby along.
Right.
And hopefully it'll strike us again, you know, hopefully well this year. We'll see.
Right.
I don't know, but I can only hope for the best. Let's hope for the best.
Exactly. But I can see out there where you guys are at, the summer being your build time being so damn hot, people probably don't go out so much, and they probably do a little bit more building through the summer and stuff because it's just too hot outside to do anything, let's early or late.
Well, yes, probably in some spots. Like more where I'm at is pretty temperate, and even in the summer, it's only 70 to 85 degrees usually.
No, that's about what we are usually. Yeah, hell, we were in the 90s half the year this year.
But a little bit further inland in LA, further, you could go 20 miles and it could be 20 degrees warmer. I don't know. I think summers are just, some people use the stuff for camping, going out and doing the family trips, but I think a lot of family trips don't include it. And so I think sometimes the summers are a pretty slow period in general for the hobby.
Right.
At least where I've been at. I went to that place, The Dirt, which was, I'm going to make a video of it and I'll be going back. It was a great track. If you ever check out The Dirt, Paris it's called the Paris, Perris is the name of the city in California. So this
I might have
place,
seen a couple of videos from people running out there over the last year or so.
I can almost guarantee it because they have big races out there every year. It's one of the big national races. I forget what they call it, the Dirt Nitro Challenge. I forget, but it's a really nice track. I've done other for me, I was impressed because it's an outdoor track and it was fairly smooth. Usually the outdoor tracks around here get really dry, beat and whooped out and like just rough as shit. This track's the same layout as it's been for a while. And it was very smooth. I drove the truggy on it first, and then I took the buggy out. I hadn't driven the buggy in forever. And it was smooth enough that I was able to prefer the buggy. It's fast. There's some big jumps. But not only this, it's open pretty much all the time. You just go and you pay for Venmo. You scan this little thing and you pay them through Venmo or Cash App or something. You can go out and water it. People there are very helpful. There's a lot of pros that go there that test tires, and they leave a lot of tires. My buddy went with me, and he ended up getting 4, 5, 6 sets of tires because
oh wow, nice. Yeah,
they just, you know, they use them one time and they're testing them, or they've used them once, you know. And so he's like, oh shit, he's like, I could really have them? He goes, all of them, take them all. He goes, we've got too many. So good for him. He's hooked up with some
Right.
tire, you know. But they also have, this place is for people like you. I think you would love it. Not only does it got right next to the motocross, or not right next to the RC track, is an a big covered building, just a big covered like a roof, not the sides, just a covered roof because it's so hot out in the desert. And that's covering an on-road track. And then there's an oval, dirt oval track to the other side. Those are
All right.
all for RCs,
Nice.
which is cool. Then on the same property, there's an 1/8 mile drag strip that you could take your car out if you want. There's sprint car races on Saturday nights on the Roundy Round. And there's BMX track on the other side. And a really nice, dude, this BMX track's so freaking nice looking. I can't believe how badass it looks. And then on the other side of BMX track is a track for Supermoto dirt bikes. And then I was like, are you kidding me? Now I'm thinking about trying to find a Supermoto and going out there. And Paris has everything. They had all that shit. And then 20 minutes away is the motocross tracks.
Right on.
So I don't have any of that stuff near me. That's about, it's not that far. It's 80 miles, I think, roughly.
So that ain't too bad.
Which is, no, it's not too bad. That's
Hour
totally
15.
doable.
Yeah, hour 15. That ain't too bad. Yeah, the closest decent track that has pro motor races around here for me is 3 hours. So that's a
Yeah,
little
that's
tough. That's tough,
Yeah,
you know,
for
6
sure.
hour round trip for
Mhm.
6 hours there.
Yeah,
So it makes for a long
I
day.
don't know about that. I would, in my situation, it works well because it's closer.
Mm.
It's also, there's a mile away from the California, what does it call it? Lake Paris State Recreation Area. So I camp there, and that's only a mile from the dirt. So I can camp there, ride motocross in the morning, play at the dirt track in the evening, the RC track. I just found out all this shit this weekend. I was so surprised to see all that stuff there. So I'm really excited about it.
Nice, yeah.
One
Yeah,
of my
there
buddies
is
came
a
out there, and
there's
he
a
was
dirt
surprised
track
too.
about 45 minutes from me in a little town called Alma. It's an 8 scale track. And they said they'd have promos, and I never did get over there this year. Looked like they were fairly busy through the race season. Alma's a small little town in the middle of cornfields. I mean, it's
Yeah,
about 20 minutes south of Mount Pleasant, which is a college town, has CMU University here. But other than that, you know, everything else is like almost 45 minutes away to the bigger cities close to it. You know, it's about an hour north of Lansing, which is our state capital, 45 minutes away from me, or Saginaw, an hour from Bay City, which is the 3 big cities by me. So yeah, they either people are driving quite a bit, or they got a lot of use from, you know, locals out there, because they get pretty good amount of people. It's a pretty good sized track, and it looks like a really well done track. So I would like to get over there next year. Work depending, seeing on
give
what
it a
happens.
shot if you can. I would say before you get over there, just drive as much as you can anyway.
Yeah, I got my front yard track that helps.
I've been driving mine almost probably once or twice a week. Whenever I go to work, I leave one of them at work, the blue one, and it's very slow. And I will get it and just rip around in the driveway, which is really tight, but it's made me really confident at coming into corners, braking, sliding, accelerating back out, and being able to make corners fairly quick in like, I never, you know, before it used to, I had to take big wide corners, you know, everything was different. Now all I'm doing has been practicing these tight turns and shit. And
All about braking into the corner, just like a real bike.
yeah. And I think that'll benefit me whenever I get back to just driving out normal, because it's so exaggeratedly such a small area. that it's a lot of fun, man. I rip that thing around. Some of the customers see it and they come in and want to buy one. Did you buy any of those Proline wheels, tire things they had for sale?
I haven't. I still have a couple in my car, but once I lost my job, my interest in spending some money kind of curtailed there at the moment. But right now, they're still $15 bucks a piece, $14.99 for those damn rims. The issue people are having now is finding front tires. They can find back. People are having problems finding front tires at the moment. I have some here, so I'm tempted to go ahead and order the set, for 30 bucks. It's hard to say no, even now, just to have a second set on them.
I think I'm just going to hold off because, man, I just don't need to spend more money when I have perfectly usable tires and wheels. They look good, but I need to wear through some stuff I got. I have so much shit.
They work well too. I mean, they're well balanced, and there's guys that are running them, and you get gyroscopic effect because they're a little bit heavier, so you get a little bit more of that gyroscopic effect, which helps maintain control a little bit better. So there is just some benefit besides just how well they look.
You're right. Actually, my buddy Art has them. I drove his truck with them, with the kind of the paddle, not the paddle, but the scoop looking tire.
Mm-hmm.
And did really good. It hooked up really hard.
Yeah, the MX 14.
Maybe.
The Pro line has a little bit like a V shape, a V scoop, as opposed to like a paddle, like you said. Very aggressive V scoop tread.
Oh no, this is the Dunlop version that I have. I don't know which one he had. Oh no, this is MX14. That's what it is.
Because they've got the 33.
This is 14. Not a good. This is a weird tire. Look at how flat it is.
Yeah, the MX14 there, how it's got that kind of tread that's built like almost like a paddle, but it's still tread.
Yeah. It grips really hard going forward on the one I've driven.
Yeah, they got those.
If you get on it, it stands it up again, I think. But it was on. I think this is what he had on the Proline rims.
Right. Yeah, because you got the MX14 there, then the MX33, which is a little bit less aggressive, but it's the Proline rim. And then you got the stock Dunlop MX54, which are the stock, Losi rims and tires.
Yeah, this is the MX30. How do you remember all these numbers? You got like a brain like a trap.
I got one of those brains, yeah.
Good for you. I don't. I wish I did. I don't remember. My memory is just not that good. It just isn't.
It's one of those things, if I'm interested in it, I can, consume details nonstop.
Well, yeah, I guess. Even if I am, I can't. I don't. My memory's just not that. I have to every time I have to do something. Huh?
Playing music helped. There was one time we had over 500 songs in our playlist.
Oh wow!
We were basically a walking, a on-stage jukebox, a live jukebox. There wasn't almost any genre or songs that were the real popular songs of that genre that we couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to remember how to play 500 different songs, your musical settings, the keys they're in, and it really exercises your memory. And I think that is why I've always had a good, strong memory. I can remember times when I was in the crib. I can remember books I've read. I probably have, if I didn't smoke as much cannabis through my life as I have, I probably have what most people would call a photographic memory, because I can recall stuff that most people couldn't recall 10 minutes ago, let alone 35, 45 years ago.
Yeah, that's impressive to me, because that's as you say, like, I don't think smoking helps the.
Well, you would think so, and that's what I say. with as much cannabis as I smoked, I mean, the common thing of potheads forget everything. But I think there's a time frame on that. I noticed with my own life, there's a couple times that I've quit smoking, cannabis for a few years, and then when you first start back up, you get a little bit of that fogginess for a little while. But at a certain level, your body has got as much as it can take. You'll still get high or whatever, but the temperance is minimized. You build up a tolerance, shall we say. And I've been pretty much a chronic smoker the vast majority of my life. But I don't take pills. And when I don't get sick, but when I need to do something, I typically find some good cannabis and use that in one way or another and get through whatever illness or ailment I'm dealing with exception to the big ones, which I've not had, knock on wood.
So I'm just messing around with some of these media assets and stuff, trying to figure this stuff out.
Hey, Steve, how you doing? And probably more about, that one you haven't done too much. Well, you've done quite a bit to that bike.
This one was it came all apart because I did put the carbon fiber chassis plates in it. But that's about it. Also put the Losi. I put the Losi aluminum swing arm on it, which I'm maybe not as fond of as the Scorched aluminum swing arm. Then some dressing it up with some painting the bars gold and doing some stuff like that. Different rear tires, different front tires. But that is it. And it's still not been driven. I've had this thing since they came out. I've still not driven the damn thing. I had planned to.
That's the yellow one.
Yeah. And I had planned to last week because remember I said I'm just going to go out and start driving this in the dirt. This is going to be my dirt one, and the other one will kind of be like the street one.
Right.
And I just haven't had a chance, but I definitely will. I haven't done a whole lot to any of mine really, other than just drove the piss out of that other one. I put a few things here and there on it, but and the Vitavon brakes in the front. So these are great. I love them.
Oh yeah. I've been riding this year. I got a chance to use my street version, the Trump bike. Couple, more often than this one because I'd take it into work with me when I had to do stuff, whether it was on the weekend or whatever. Sometimes I had to go and deal with the pool, and there was a couple of hour process where I had to just wait for it to do stuff. So I just go to the junior college parking lot and map out a street run, and they had a pretty good sized parking lot, and it was pretty much empty. So I was doing almost what would be considered a 2-mile track probably in scale. Running around the parking islands and empty parking lot. It was probably 200 feet, 300, maybe 300 feet by 250, 300 with just a few islands throughout the middle, little rough spots here and there, so it wasn't bad, but it made it really nice running.
Cool. So we got some more people in chat. Pilot Ryan Media.
Hey, Pilot,
Thanks.
how you
Good
doing?
to hear from you.
42
It says the
answered
42.
Yep.
I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'll believe him. Then Steve Jackson, he had a question. Let's see. What about the rims and tires that you take the tire, slip it on the rim, twist it? I have not used that.
Yep.
Have you used that?
That's what these are, the Pro Line rim.
Oh, okay. That's the Pro Line, like the newer Supermoto style, right?
Yeah.
Those look awesome. Tell Mr. Jackson about those if you don't mind.
So you got your metal rim, obviously, and then on the tire you got a plastic insert. It's got little keyed notches, three little keyed notches, and they only go on the rim one way. So when you're gluing your tire to your key notches, you got to make sure everything's oriented properly, so your tire's properly oriented. So pay attention to that if you ever do glue these in. But anyways, yeah, you got 3 bolts on the rim, on each side of the rim. So you take these 3 out, flip it over, take the other 3 out. This rim will come apart, or you can slide the inside plastic bead and tire off, and then slide the new one right back on. Of course, you got to take it off the unit, and you put your bolts back in, locking it down, screws into your little holes here, and that's how fast it is to change your tire. It's pretty neat to do, pretty easy to do. Just take the tire off, undo your bolts, get your rim up. It can bind up a little bit because you get a little bit of dust and dirt in there, so you might have to knock it a little bit, arc it to get it to slip off. But generally, it comes off pretty easy. Just kind of slides off those key parts. Clean it up, put your new tire on. Same thing with the back. Throw them on, they flip out pretty good. But yeah, these are the Pro Line, or the Pro Line wheels, which are, right now I think $14.99. And then you can buy the individual parts to build them. The hubs are $4.99. The spoke sets, I think, were $4.99. And the metal outer rim was $4.99. So you can buy everything you need to build the rim. You just got to lace it up yourself, which is kind of cool if you know how to lace rims. If you don't, it's a good way to learn and practice. Pretty unique skill to learn. But yeah, that's all they are, is that setup. Then of course Vitavon has a set. This is the set of the Vitavon rims and spoked wheels. A few less spokes, a little bit heavier duty spokes. And this doesn't have a ring. You actually glue to the actual rim. So you got to use a little bit different of the glues so you can glue your rubber to your aluminum. Don't remember. I got it in a different box. It's a black Loctite glue. I want to say 86 something. P86, R86, something like that. 480, it might be 486, 482. It's kind of dwelling in my back, but yeah. Another set. Again, they look about the same, a little bit heavier. But I think that's what you're talking about, Steve, is the Pro Line rims and tires, basically with the slip ring that you glue on the tire itself and then swap just the tire around. But yeah, Pro Line does have those clearanced out. Kind of surprised they clearanced them out as fast as they did. I expected them to hang around a little bit more. They do. They really do, man. I mean, when they get to the scale details, take your lean bars off, man, they really look good.
What?
And it's hard to deny how sharp those look on there.
No, they look great. Can you? I'm not sure. Is my audio coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say is a superior way of mounting it? Do you prefer the gluing or the metal ring where it slips in there?
You're going either way. Now,
Either way.
Vitavon does have a second set of rims, which are their V2, which are actually a bead lock. So you can buy the Vitavon rims like the ones that just showed and go, but they're actually, the version now has a bead lock set up on it, so you don't have to glue your tires. You can just swap it. And for anybody looking for tires, if you do have one and you're looking for tires, Vitavon does sell tires for the stock size rims, and that includes their on-road tires. They fit the normal size rims and not the Pro Line's Supermoto rims, the slightly smaller ones. So Vitavon does sell tires. There's also a company, trying to remember what it is right now. I should know it. They're in Italy. They sell MX tires, a little bit more pricey, but they've been an RC tire manufacturer, and specifically an RC motorcycle tire manufacturer, for about 30 years. I just don't remember what their name is at the moment.
What if I was to buy the rims that were going for around $15, right?
Yeah, the aluminum rims here. Yep.
And then wheels. No, the tires. They're still available, front and back.
Now, as I understand it, like I said, right now there's a lack of tires. It sounds like what Proline might be doing is getting ready to repackage. I don't know that they've quote unquote discontinued completely the spoked rims. I think they may be packaging them as they ready to go with tire and slip ring unit and only. So right now you can buy them with just the tire where you have to glue it and buy the slip rings and you got to glue it. And stock the tires were like $14 or $19.99 or $24.99, and the slip rings are like $3 for a pack of 10. So I think they're just kind of repackaging things, but they may be discontinuing these and then just coming out with the tires and then tires with slip rings for the people with these, you know, with the spoked wheels already.
What so if I buy the rims and I buy whatever tires I can find, what else do I need to buy? Do these hubs, the hubs come with the rims? Yes, or no?
Yeah, the hub is the center hub, just like a real bike. Your spokes lace into your center hub. And then your metal rim.
Put like the bearings into that?
Yep. Yeah, so it's a basically four piece. You got your center hub section, your spoke section, your rim section, and then your glue ring part.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to order a set tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah, you might want to jump on it, man. They are getting, they might be getting kind of low. I've got, right now, I think all they got left are the blue on blue and the red and black, or the blue on black. So you got the blue hub black ring or the red hub black ring. They used to have gold hub black ring. I had a set of those, but they sold out.
Well, red hub black ring would be good for my Honda,
right?
For sure.
And then you can buy the individual hubs, so you can buy gold hubs and black rings and spokes and build a set. It's going to cost a little bit more than $14.99 right now, I think. Well, it'd be about the same if they're $4.99.
Where's the best place? Horizon Tower right now, you think?
Yeah, right out of Horizon and Tower.
You know, I work at a shop.
I can go to Horizon. Looks like Horizon might have
we get a good deal
items
on them. Like, I wonder what our deal would, if we wanted to buy from Horizon. I wonder if the shops are going to deal.
I wouldn't think so at $14.99. I mean, they're already, because those were $99.
And actually, here's what they do.
$15. So I had a close.
Here's what Horizon did. Any shop right now that bought those things for $65 or $75, they paid for Horizon, and now they got 2 or 3 sets sitting on the wall, and Horizon's selling them for $15. If they were to match that price, they're losing $50.
Yes, exactly.
And that shit happens all the time with some companies in the hobby.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna just start blowing people out, but I will fucking tell you. We have so many parts that sit on the wall because somebody's decided to go direct to consumer with the same part for way cheaper.
Right.
It's tough. It's just weird.
Well, yeah, especially when you order parts and then 2 months later it's coming up discontinued and prices are dumping.
Or they've upped it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, this has been a fun stream. And it's actually worked out really well towards the end of it. Once we got the audio issues worked out and everything else worked out.
As far as degluing the tire, Steve, there's a few ways. I'm sure JB's got a couple recommendations. I know the 2 common ones that I have used, at least both of them, is put the tire and rim in an oven. I think get the oven up to I think it's 250 degrees. Stick the tire in there. 15 minutes later, shut it off and let it cool down. And then when it's cooled down, it hardens the glue and makes it brittle. And you can push the tire and snap the glue and then clean it up from there. The other option is acetone fumes, not the acetone. Although I've seen people say they're putting them in acetone and not having problems. I got to presume that's going to depend on the tire compound and what the tire is made out of. But if you suspend the tire above a jar above it in acetone, so it's in the fumes and not in the acetone, overnight, a lot of times that breaks down the glue and you can just snap the glue right off. Those are the two most common ways I know to deglue and not really have a huge mess or cause a problem. But it usually, you know, the heating, if you do the oven, it's not so hot that it messes with the plastic. That's why you kind of let it cool down inside the oven when you shut it off. So it don't really melt anything at 250 degrees. And it doesn't really cause a problem with the tire. It gets a little stinky. Other than that, and acetone, of course, you want to cap it up and leave it in the jar pretty much overnight. But in the fume area, and that breaks down the glue too. But those are the two ways I know. I know they got degluing stuff, which
That
JV's
debonder stuff. Screw that. That's no good. Not to me.
I've never used it.
Nah, man. I've done the oven trick. For me, I was trying to, I think it was during the Dovid or whatever bullshit. I was not able to get a lot of wheels or tires, and I was trying to save some rims on truggies, and those are pretty thin wheels to begin with. And I was having, I bet you different glues, depending on what glue you use, are going to be different breaking points, because I feel like I had to go to like 350, a much higher temp to get them to crack. Might have been
a little higher.
And it was, at the end of the day, I feel like I still damaged the rims. They were just not that sturdy.
Almost too hot.
So I don't often, like, I don't deglue. I mean, if it's a 6S truck, you can almost just spin it up real hard and make them rip it off. But I don't glue anything now. I would be interested. I want to try the acetone trick. Like you say, put like an inch of acetone in the bottom of a bucket and put a brick in there or so, and have it sitting up on top.
Yep. Or a lid with a little piece of wire you can suspend it from in the lid.
Beautiful. But yeah, I think that would be the better way to do it. Honestly, I haven't done it, but I have had not great results with the oven trick. And it probably depends on what glue you're using, what tires you're using, and what ovens you're using.
I will say the one time I did use the tire trick, or the few times I used it, was probably in the early 2000s when I had T-Maxes still.
T-Maxes. There's a good blast from the past, but they still make them. What you have, a T-Max 2.5?
I think so. Yeah, 2001, 2003, something like that.
Yeah.
That, and had an E-Max with the double 550 cans.
Yeah, we had one of them in the shop recently. So here's my thing. And I don't own any Traxxas vehicles. I have several cars, don't own any. But if I own my own shop, Traxxas would be so easy. Because those E-Max that you're talking about is 20 plus years old. I can still get parts for it. Nothing's much changed. We can still get pretty much everything. Now, it's not getting... Now, there's no real forward progress. And now Arma, on the other hand, and I'm a big Arma fan, as far as driving them, jumping them, flipping them, overpowering them, the Armas, and especially the 6S line, is just badass. The toughest out there. It smashes Traxxas. But as a dealer, I see how many products Arma upgrades their shit almost as often as Associated and Mugen and Losi used to do every year or two. Arma has got a new version coming out. They have so many friggin' rear diffs for a 6S. From the beginning of time till now, there's probably on 6 or 7 different differentials. So
yeah, they're not cross compatible.
a lot of times they are. They're
Yeah.
always, everything from the old is compatible up to the newer days. So
Okay.
you can, and that's very good. Problem is, let's say we've got 5 differentials from a version 3, and now we're on version 5. Nobody wants the diff from version 3, even though sometimes it's a stronger or sturdier one. They want
Right.
the part number for version 5.
We want the new one.
And the store's already invested $200 in diffs, which have since changed. Now, in the
Right.
basher land, that's hard for dealers. And Horizon's fucking pretty notorious for that shit. And I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
love
I
to
see a
drive
lot
them.
of.
They're badass,
I see
but they're
quite a
hard
few
to deal
people
with.
in the hobby industry who are part of the hobby shop industry, you know, say that it can be kind of tough,
Oh,
in
yeah.
how fast things turn over, which is why I think Traxxas does get so many people dealering for them, because it's pretty stable. And yeah, the prices now have went up, and that's going to make it a little bit harder for some of their dealers. But nonetheless,
I'll tell you what, though, with Traxxas, and I don't care if I get, I don't sign any NDAs or whatever, but the same amount of money that the prices went up, that Traxxas raised their MSRPs,
mhm,
they didn't change the difference in the. That's exactly what it went up on the dealer cost. So if
right,
it went up 40, it went up 40 on dealer cost. I'm
right.
not going to
It's
name another
across the
brand
board.
again, but I'll tell you, on another brand, if the MSRP went up 40, dealer cost went up sometimes 50 to 60%. So their
Right. So
margins,
you're actually losing a little bit more of the margin than you were before.
you're selling it for a lot more and you're making less money. So that is
Yeah,
certain.
where at least the Traxxas, you're making the same amount of percentage.
It's everyone's getting hurt. The store's hurting, and the guys, you're paying more and we're paying more for it, but it's all equal.
Right.
Yeah, I love. I mean, Horizon's got a bunch of great products, but they. I almost wonder if they're just going to become a direct to consumer, or just deal only with Hobby Town and let Main do their distribution or something, because um, they're not only are they the distributor to the
Mhm.
hobby stores, they're also their biggest competitor. And
Right. They're
it's just
also their
tough.
own retailer.
Yeah. So does Traxxas, but Traxxas always generally gives you a heads up warning, and they let you sell stuff before it goes online.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. I haven't been in the shop for about a week. I only work 2 days a week now, and I'm going in tomorrow.
Right.
So I might I think, geez, that tire is so wide. Almost just touching the swing arm. I may do a show from the shop tomorrow. If you see it and you want to join in, just send however you did it today.
Yeah. Today I just jumped right into the studio. I just opened up StreamYard and seen you were going and entered into the studio
Cool.
directly.
Awesome. I'm starting to figure it out more. I like how we're gonna have. I want to start doing notes for show notes. You
Yep.
can use
Yeah. I had
the
heard they
chat,
had
the
made some
backstage
changes.
pattern.
Yeah, I heard they'd made some changes over the last couple months, but I hadn't really jumped into the studio even on mine to double look. I've been, when I have went online, I've been using my other software.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a lot easier as far as, like in the back end, a lot easier as far as the producer side.
What does it
There's
show
more
up
here than it was
on?
before.
From what you're seeing, do you see 2 screens, a vertical and then a horizontal, or do you just see horizontal screen
Give me a second here.
in your StreamYard? Okay.
So I'd
So
probably
see the
see the same
stream,
thing you do
the one to the left is the horizontal up and down. I mean the vertical.
right here.
Yeah. So that
Yep.
right now is streaming to supposedly to Instagram Live. And then the one on the right is the horizontal, and that's going to YouTube.
Sounds right.
So
So it sounds
that's
like
the first
mine.
time I've ever tried that. I don't know how it works, but or
Yeah,
it
yeah.
worked out well, but that's the first
Yeah, it
time I
looks like
tried
it is because I've, your lady said, I think, Instagram was live at the beginning. I don't use Instagram, so it's not one that I'm on.
Mhm.
I got it. I just don't visit it hardly ever.
Yeah, neither do I. Not in a long time, but maybe
Rumble's
start
a
doing it
good
again.
one. Should maybe start adding in Rumble. I've got a Rumble account, and that's getting really popular. And
I'll check into it
there's
because that's
some
another one you can
RC
add.
over there, but not a lot. So it might be a little bit easier market to break out and grow into. Just
All
start
right.
direct streaming to Rumble as well.
Seems
I've
cool.
been
I'll check into
considering,
it.
yeah, I've been considering starting back up around 2013, 2014. I started a podcast myself back before when I was kind of semi working at the time. And I called it the Perception Deception Show. Talking about all the things, whether it was political or religious or TV. I'll give you an example. We call it a television. Well, whose vision's being told and why are we listening to it? And that's kind of the topic, subject matter is like it's tell a vision. So right in the name is whose vision is being told and why are we and that
Yeah.
was kind of the perception deception that I was
Sure.
addressing.
Yeah. I got
The
you.
other side of the coin that most people never see, if you will. I've been kind of thinking about with everything going on.
Maybe
I've been
do
thinking
something like
about
that
throwing that
again. That'd
back
be
up.
cool.
I've been thinking, yeah, I could pick that
You
show
got the right
back
voice
up.
for it.
So it's been something I've considered, which is,
Yeah.
when I started the show, it was kind of interesting because I didn't just mostly it was me talking, but I, had guests on for quite a bit too. It was doing it over Blog Talk Radio at the time, but I had some at the time what you would consider some fairly heavy hitter guests right out of the gate. Not just a nobody. I just, I'm one of these guys, I don't care who you are. If there's something you're talking about and I want to talk to you, I'll try to contact you and see if you respond. And if you do, maybe let's talk about this deeper online. And I got some pretty cool guests at the time.
Cool.
But yeah, it's something I might try to do again. I mean, I'm not
I'd be
working, so I
interested
may
in
as well
listening.
try.
That's cool. All right. Man. I think I'm going to call it. Got to get into work tomorrow.
Exactly, Douglas. Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Douglas, he's a funny guy. Thanks for joining the chat tonight, man. It's been a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna close it out on my end, but you can feel free to stay on your end if you want.
No, it's a good 1:15 here. It's good time to shut her down myself. So just go ahead and end the stream out.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for
So we're
showing
gonna
up,
end
folks.
this. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Do appreciate it. I'm gonna go and check and see what the Instagram thing, if it worked or not, if it had any engagement. I probably will be working. I usually am by myself for most of the day tomorrow. It's pretty slow. Well, it's been busier. If it's slow tomorrow morning, I'm going to put a couple of coats of metallic blue on this bad boy in the shop. And then
Let's see.
But anyway, if not, we'll be back. I'm gonna probably do this from my up at the house in the next couple days. So I have better internet and
Where?
more comfortable. But yeah, I'll be doing it from the house and hopefully finishing this, whatever they call it, the HG P407 Bruiser clone. All right, Doug, definitely appreciate it. Steve Jackson, it is great having you. I don't know, is this your first time in chat? Again, I got the horrible memory. Flapping Lips may remember, but I don't know if it is your first time, welcome. Definitely appreciate having you in.
It shows you're live. I don't see where you're live, except it has a link to YouTube.
Okay.
Well, it's there.
Cool.
I'm not sure where I would see you live at. Like, say, I don't use Instagram.
I just got a notification on my phone.
There it is.
I got
I
a
found
new
you.
follower.
Yeah, it's showing live.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, let's try to do this more often. Now that we know how to do it again, I mean, I'll just use this.
Yeah.
The audio has been pretty good since we figured it out, I think. StreamYard works well. Feel free to use that my StreamYard thing. Go in there,
Cool.
figure it out. Like, do whatever you want with it so we can. I want to figure out how to upload more video clips, picture clips, so shit that I'm talking about, I can actually click on and show information. Right. And like when I was going to show the Bruiser, I wanted to show the Tamiya. I wanted to get a picture of the Tamiya Bruiser and get it ready. So I just didn't have time. But all that stuff looks like it'll be pretty easy to do on this once we get it figured out.
Yeah,
but
the
guys,
only thing we wouldn't be able to do is stream at the same time. So if you wanted to go live, then you would have to be that way. You're streaming live on your channel. Because if I'm streaming through your side, I think it will broadcast to your channel automatically. I might be able to just broadcast to mine, but I don't think I can broadcast to mine and you can broadcast yours at the same time without being combined. So there's only that. But I got my other
I can broadcast
anyways.
I can broadcast mine and add yours. I don't know. I might be able to just broadcast only to yours. Check it and see. Try it sometime and see. I don't know.
Yeah. Up in the back studio, there's the 3 right at the very top on the right-hand side, right next to end stream. It's got the 3 areas of check marks. That's the 3 streams. So I think if you were to hit and uncheck that, it would turn around and stop the stream from that particular one. What I was referring to is because you're the host of this actual paid channel, you would be, if you went live, it would automatically
go on my channel.
I think it would tie us together. Yeah, you'd have to add me, but I think I would automatically feed to your channel. I might be able to stop it if I wanted to do something on my channel alone.
I bet you not.
We'd have to check that out, see how it worked. But I still got my free channel on this that I could use, and I could have another person on and just stream through StreamYard on my output instead of yours anyway. So that wouldn't matter at that point.
So Steve is in St. Louis, Missouri. Man, Steve, I've had some good times in St. Louis, Missouri, to tell you the truth, honestly. I've been kicked out of two of those the boat casinos. What do they call them? The riverboat casinos. Oh my God. I tried to get in both of them or 2 of them. And one, my friend was too drunk and they didn't let him in. Then we took the taxi to the other, didn't get in either. For me.
That could be good. Yeah. I hear the jails down there suck.
Yeah, they may. I was in St. Louis for some Supercross races in the Edward Jones whatever dome. I think they name it something different now. Steve, I don't know what days. I used to do shows on Friday. He's asking what days. And thank you for subscribing. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna start trying to do a whole lot more because I'm not only gonna do them from the garage. Now that I figured this thing out, I'm going to do it up for my apartment as well. It'll be easy for me to just click on, and it'll be more of a focus thing. Like I'll have a build to do. Here I can just hang out, but I don't know. Maybe Tuesdays and Fridays, or I don't know. Might do every damn day for who knows. But another way,
Yeah, same with me. I'm a haphazard kind of podcaster right now. So, although now that I'm got more free time, I may find myself doing more stuff.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being on. I appreciate it. It went really well. To Steve and everybody in chat tonight, we definitely appreciate it. I'm going to try to be back tomorrow, probably. I think I'm going to be back tomorrow working on the Bruiser clone. So we'll see about that. And maybe come in on, do a little broadcast from the shop for a little while in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, I might try to catch you then. So I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of dash work. So I got to get up, take care of some stuff. And about the time I'm done with that, it'll be noon and you'll be getting to the shop.
Okay. Sounds cool. All right, Douglas, we'll see. We'll see about that hot pink. Maybe we'll see what color paints we got on the show tomorrow from the shop. All right, guys. You guys have a great night. I appreciate you.
Thanks for hanging, chat.
Yes. See you guys later. Thank you.
Ciao. Okay.
All right, let's go. That was the highest jump of my life. Yes, got just out of the way. Oh my freaking God. There we go.